calendar, boys.
All right, it is time to get organized. You've been letting it slide for a little while. I've seen how you've been going. There's stuff in places it shouldn't be. There's things on tables that you need to eat off of. There's...
Eat those things.
Eat those things. There's
Off of
flour.
that, Jane.
There's flour in the sugar jar. What are you doing? It's time to get organized. And we're here to guide you through it with our top 10 tips for getting organized. It's Get Organized Day, April 26th. Zeb, what's tip number 1?
Tip number 1. Okay, that desk covered in stuff. I fully agree with Eamon. You just got to eat it all. Get the stationery, eat it. Get the pens, eat them. If there's a plant, why is that there? Eat that, all of it. Get rid of it. Once the table is clean, now you can keep it clean. It's a day-long rule. If anything's there for more than a day, you have to eat it.
Eat an entire stapler.
Clean.
Yeah, keep them clean.
Yeah.
Keep them breezy. Okay, tip number 2 is if you have... It's time to sort your goldfish by color and by weight. So you will obviously have 3 tanks. I don't know why you've been keeping them all spread across 3 different tanks, completely unorganized, but it's time first by color. So obviously you'll have a red, green, and a blue breed of goldfish. They'll be all mixed together. Get all of the different colors, sort them into each tank. And then obviously by weight, we're going to take them out into 500 milliliters of water, put them on the scale, and then we're going to insert the glass dividers in the tank one at a time to separate them each by weight until you have maybe 10 columns of goldfish, each with their own little tiny sliver of a tank.
Sorted by the correct color order.
Yeah, exactly.
Gradient. Okay. There's a nice gradient going on. When you said tank, my head didn't go to the obvious place. I didn't go to a fish tank. I went, like a vehicle of war? Imagine a fish tank. But it's a cool little tank. Someone has probably made that. I bet that exists.
It's absolutely definitely a tattoo on someone's body at this point.
Yeah, at the very least, it's definitely that.
But if you can give us tip number 3, Zab.
Tip number 3. All right. You need to clean your room. If there's anything on the floor, you've got to eat it.
No, they can't eat.
If you leave anything on the floor, you got to eat it all. And then if you put anything on the floor for more than a day, you got to eat it. It's a nice way to incentivize keeping stuff off the floor. I'm not talking either on the floor or straight in the bin. Either eat it or put it straight in the bin.
All
That's
right.
the rule.
Excellent.
Very personal rule for Get Organized Day.
We're just going to sit here rotating.
What do we got for tip number 4?
All right, tip number 4 is it's time to reorganize all your notebooks. So what you're going to need is you're going to need an X-Acto knife, and you're going to go through each notebook and cut out each page and just separate them all from the bind. And then you're going to reorder them in order of importance. So you obviously want the most important stuff at the top. So you stack them all up, and then you're going to put them back in with some glue, stick them back in the book. And you're going to do that for each book. You can do it to your actual books as well, if you want to get those organized too. What you want to do is you want to go through your favorite books. Like, for example, my favorite book is The Hobbit. And what I do is every year I cut the binding away from it. I just have the loose pages. I sort them by which ones I like the most. And then I put it back. And then that way when I read it, I have the best bits straight away.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for those really big books like Game of Thrones, you can cut out swaths of chapters for the characters you're not a fan of, and you only need this much book really. You don't need all those other characters. You just go, I just want to follow this character's plot line, and then you have the whole series, and it just goes like burp, 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 and then ends abruptly after 3 books.
And for the longer books,
And you go, I don't know what happened with the rest of that series.
for the longer books, like especially the ones I know I'm not going to read again, what I'll actually do is I'll just eat the page as I go, so that then I don't have to worry about cleaning up the book afterwards.
Yeah, that just. I agree with that one. That one really makes sense to me.
All right. Give us tip number 5, Zeb.
Tip number 5. All right.
Getting organized.
Can't think. All right. When you cook a meal, cook 6. It's actually a real one, I reckon. I absolutely like if you're gonna cook one meal, rather than cook 7 meals a week or whatever, or however many meals you eat. I don't know. Cook a heap at once and just put the rest in the freezer. There you go. You've done 6 cooks in one. I literally have a freezer full of 30 meals.
Yeah. You also have a big
Then you
chest
don't have to do
freezer,
it later.
right?
Yeah, I do. but with a regular freezer, I could fit about 20 in.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. And that's great if you work in an office space and you want to get organized. When you're making your lunch at the office of like your fruits and your little crackers, make 7 of it and then freeze the fruits and crackers for the next few days' lunch.
It's just getting organized.
It's getting organized. I'm going to make you ask me for the next tip. I'm just going to sit here
Number
rotating.
6.
Tip number 6. Tip number 6 is your printer probably needs some, like a little bit of work on it. So get your toolbox, and you're going to want to open the whole thing up, open it up, clean it out, wipe it out with some isopropyl alcohol. You're going to want to, there's going to be a lot of bugs in there. You want to get all those bugs out so you don't have to deal with them for the rest of the year.
Like glitches or cockroaches?
The one that causes the other.
Glitches cause cockroaches. They feed on like erroneous data.
Yeah.
Brings them in. They're little tech savvy buggers.
Yeah, they love the warmth. Zab, what's tip number 7?
Tip number 7. All right. So there's a lot of stuff around the house that you probably think, oh, that should probably be put away. If only I had more surfaces to put these things on. But I've run out of surfaces. But if you look up, the ceiling probably has very little on it.
That's true. Check it out.
Like, look it up. Look, yeah.
That's a genuine.
If there is something on your ceiling, you're already organized. Because I think you can start gluing stuff up there.
Yeah,
Just
I agree.
Hurl some glue at the roof, and then hurl the pens and loose bits of paper and like tax sheets and stuff from up there. And when you have a rental inspection, are they going to look up? Probably
no one
not.
ever looks up. That's the thing with video game designers where they talk about they don't usually have to design much detail for the ceiling because no one looks up.
Exactly. You could put all like instead of having like a specific room in Skyrim where they chuck the dead characters, they could just go whoop, just fly upwards, and you look up and then it's there gone, walking around on the ceiling, just stuck up there. No one would even know. I guarantee, even now with everything that's been figured out in Skyrim, people would not have figured that out yet. Next time you play and look up. All right, give us tip number 8. 8?
Yeah, tip number 8 is reset your phone. You've had it for a long time. It's full of garbage. It's time to reset it. No, don't bother backing anything up. Everything that you need to know is already up in here. Just reset it. You don't need those old memes. You don't need any photos. If it was that important, you will have remembered it. Crystal clear, right here. Reset your phone. Take no precautions.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, you just need a clean slate. Zab, you got me. You got me at my own game. Zab, what's tip number 9?
Tip number 9. Some may say I'm plagiarizing tip number 8, but I disagree. I think go on your computer and format it. Too much trash in there. You know it. I know it. We all know it. There's too many folders called new folder inside of another folder called new folder with heaps of stuff just in there. And really, are you going to go archaeologically digging through your computer back 10 years and find like memes from 2010? Oh God, that was 10 years ago. You're not gonna. And if you did, you'd be like, you probably have existential fear anyway, so don't do it. Just format your computer, clear it out, go to your Google Drive, delete that too, empty it all out. Now you can start afresh. Tip number 10.
Tip number 10, and this is the most important one. Give yourself a little time off. Take a break. You've been doing good work.
You're so organized.
You're so organized at this point. You don't need a tip number 10. You know,
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Tip number 10 is give yourself a little time to relax with a very organized sandwich. If you need to know what order things go on a sandwich, look up the hamburger emoji. And depending what phone you have, that's the correct order.
Don't put it in the wrong order. That's defying the theme of the day.
Yeah. So it's Get Organized Day.
And it won't be as good.
Yeah. Once you've finally made your way through these 10 tips, give yourself some time off. Let us know how it went in the comments. And this has been Calendar Boys. We'll see you tomorrow. Any closing thoughts, Seb?
Nah.
All right. We're going to go get organized.
Gonna eat some stationery.